The newest Bachelorette, Katie Thurston, reveals a hint about her relationship status. Hey guys, welcome to another shared news from home. We have the latest on Katie's relationship status, but before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future updates. I'm your host, Gianna Gravelisi, and today I am joined by the lovely Avery Grooms. Avery, Bachelor Nation has investigating every little detail on social media in order to try and come to a conclusion. So let's just dive right into it. Katie has returned to Instagram after her season of The Bachelorette has come to an early end, and this could have been for many reasons. Maybe she found her man early, maybe she realized that none of the guys were the one early on, or maybe she was sending multiple people home. But regardless, Katie's most recent Instagram story has fans already going crazy about the possible outcome. Katie is seen on vacation looking off into the distance with the caption, "My family searching for a ring," as she holds up her left ringless hand. Now, the caption itself sent fans into the usual Bachelor investigation frenzy, but the post also had a song that made this post even more confusing. The song is called All Downhill From Here, and it includes the lyrics, "You're hiding your eyes." Okay, Avery, so this is a lot to take in right off the bat. So what did you think about Katie's story when you saw it?
I thought it was very confusing, from the pose, from the song, from the caption. I was just like, what is this? But at the same time, I feel like if this was true, it's almost way too obvious. I feel like the ball's in Katie's court and she's just going to have fun with it. And she's playing a little games with us because we haven't seen any of her season yet. Who knows what happens? But I feel like if she wasn't to end up with a ring, this would be way too obvious. And it also kind of reminded me how Tasha at the beginning of her season, she posted like a story holding up a coffee mug, but she actually had her ring in it. So she could even be making fun of Tasha in this, who knows? But I refuse to believe she is not engaged right now. I don't want to.
I completely agree with you, especially on the fact that it is way too obvious. If she wasn't engaged and she straight up made a post saying, "Hey, there's no ring on my left hand," that's just too obvious, and she would have completely blew the season, ruined it all, and we all know that that is just not how The Bachelor works. And I love that you said also it's kind of like paying homage to the time that Tasha accidentally posted about her ring too. I think I obviously always fall into the little investigation speculation when it comes to all of this Bachelor craziness on social media. I was looking at the photo and I'm thinking, okay, one of her hands is completely cut off from the edge of the frame. Maybe they flipped it. Maybe that's her left hand. I completely fell down the rabbit hole too, Avery. But that was the only hint that we have from Katie for now. But we did get some more insight on what her season may hold. Of course, we know that this season is going to be unlike any other with new hosts Kaitlyn and Tasha. Kaitlyn most recently explained on her podcast that she was actually really overwhelmed during filming, and it brought up a lot of trauma and anxiety. She didn't give any further detail, but she added that her and Tasha both love Katie. Kaitlyn says, "I'm definitely not going to say much because I don't want to get in trouble, but maybe I can say it's the most dramatic season yet." Matt James also weighs in saying that he has high hopes for Katie. Avery, I feel like The Bachelor franchise slogan needs to be the most dramatic season yet because we hear this all the time. So what do we think Katie's season is going to hold?
I have to say, we always hear that every single time. I'm just waiting for Chris to come in and say the most dramatic season yet. And then I think one season he randomly was like the most shocking season. I was like, okay, we're switching it up a little bit. But I don't even know what to expect for Katie's season just because I think we all have really high hopes. She's pretty unproblematic, but we also still don't know that much about her. I mean, we saw her a little on Matt James's season. We see her through her socials, but we haven't really seen her navigate a relationship or how she is intimately with men or what she really likes. So I think I'm just looking forward most to getting to know her more and just seeing everything unravel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited as well to get to know her. So I truly think that, Katie, she already did her time on The Bachelor. She already went through it. And I feel like she obviously came in with this huge personality. She has such a following on social media. She's such an advocate for, women, for body positivity, for, being pro say whatever you want, as we saw she did on The Bachelor. So I'm really looking forward to just seeing her make decisions. I really think that she's a girl that knows what she wants. She doesn't put up with nonsense. And I think she's going to actually be sending a lot of these men home. And, we discussed previously that she maybe sent multiple people home. That's why the season ended early. And I kind of believe that theory because, again, I think she knows exactly what she wants and she is not willing to waste any of her time. So we will just have to see what happens. But in the meantime, an insider also told E! News how the dynamics of Katie's season differed from all the rest. They also go on to explain that the male contestants couldn't connect with Kaitlyn and Tasha as they normally would with former host Chris Harrison. They say that the men saw Chris as a wise old man to get advice from, and they just couldn't get the same advice from the two female hosts. The source went on to say how Chris's presence was missed as he would often be a mediator and voice of reason on set. Avery, this is the first time in 18 years that The Bachelor hasn't had Chris Harrison as a host. So, of course, the dynamic's going to be different. This was expected, but do we think that the source's claims are true?
I think so. I understand the male to male connection that's missing, but also I feel like having Tasha and Kaitlyn on is almost like an added bonus because yes, Chris always is going to be the wise old man who gives great advice and has been on the show for as long as it's been here. But Kaitlyn and Tasha have been in the contestant shoes and in the lead shoes. So they kind of also have more insight and literal personal experience. And also, they both had successful outcomes for the most part. I know Kaitlyn's still not with the guy she chose, but Tasha is, and they lasted pretty long. But, I get why they had trouble adjusting to the change, but also, I could see it also benefiting them. So, I don't know. I know after having Chris on the show for so long, it's just wow, a huge part of the show's missing, but I feel like it's also some good change.
I definitely think it's good change. I mean, I think of it this way. I have guy best friends and I give them advice on their female relationships because I know what the female's thinking. I know what women think. I know how we feel in relationships. So I think that this dynamic is actually great. Of course, I also understand why maybe the men weren't connecting with the two female hosts. Maybe they were looking at it like it was kind of a three against all of them situation. They have Katie, they have Kaitlyn and Tasha. Obviously, them three are going to be on each other's side, and then the men are kind of navigating it on their own. But I think that hopefully maybe Katie found a guy that had an open mind and we're accepting all three of them, including the host, because I think that that's going to be the guy that she ultimately would work out with in the end because he understands both perspectives. I think looking at it like the two female hosts can't give the same advice is kind of having such a closed mind. I don't think that's really right in the sense. So I think those men that thought that got sent home, but we will just have to see what happens on June 7th when The Bachelorette premieres. All right, you guys, that is all we have for you today. Let us know what you think about Katie's relationship status and her season in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future updates. I'm Gianna Gravellisi, and I was joined by the lovely Avery Grooms. Give us a follow on our social media. Come say hello. Our handles are on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.